Hello, this is ELB and I am back with some more video game development. So last time I started work on like a lock-on system, and in the meantime I've messed with it just a little bit off camera. Uh, so what you're seeing here is the black arrow is the direction the player is facing. The red arrow is the direction that the right stick is pointing in, and that blue line is where the player is aiming. So because I'm locked on to this guy, it's aiming at that one. You can also see the little red square around it. So the way I programmed this to work is it takes the angle that's closest to the player. So right now I'm pointing at this guy, right? So I'll lock onto him. Okay, so that seems simple enough. That's the one that you'd expect. However, who am I going to lock onto right now? Now you might say, oh, well, obviously that guy is way closer, so I'm going to lock onto him. But nope, I lock onto that guy who's much further away. So it didn't seem like a problem when there were only two enemies in the area, but now that there are a lot more, it makes it much less certain who I'm going to lock onto. Like, look at that, I locked onto that guy instead of this one right here. That doesn't seem ideal, does it? So, what am I going to do instead? I am going to make another attempt at this where instead of simply having angle and then distance, I'm gonna add them together. My current idea is a really, really simple equation, which would be this: distance plus angle difference squared. So this would mean that at first the angle difference would probably matter a bit more, but the further off from that angle you are, the more the distance plays in. Or the more being close matters. So, I don't know, we're going to see exactly how this works. I'm also going to make sure that the code is a lot cheaper than last time. As in, a lot less code and more optimized. So last night I had someone look over this code with me, and he tore it apart because he knows what he's doing. I kind of don't. Simply put, I could probably have this cut in half, and I could take the time to do that right now, but as stated, I'm planning on simply giving it another try, so I'm not even going to bother messing with it. Instead, I'm just going to start again. And there we go. Okay. So, we're doing so this one is distance plus angle squared. Okay, so last time we went through every single enemy and determined which ones met the criteria. We're going to be doing the same this time. So, I believe, what was the thing that we used? It was target candidate array. No, instance find. There we go. So, so let's start with this for loop. For n equals 0. Oh, do I even need that? I can never remember. Yeah, I do. Okay. For n equals 0. And while n is less than instance number, obj parent enemy, n plus plus. Okay, we got our loop. Perfect. So instance find obj parent enemy n. Okay, so we're going to make this a local variable. Okay. Then we are going to find out the distance and put that in a local variable. Point distance x plus 16, y plus 16, and then was it OBJ? I'm trying to remember, what was it? It was oh, why are you way over there? Everything is way off on the other screen, which I don't want right now. So it was lock on X and lock on Y. Oh, I'll put you there. So var distance, no, instance ID. Instance ID dot lock on X, var instance ID dot lock on Y, and we should be good there. And then finally, oh wait, here I should do this real quick. ID distance, and then var instance angle equals point equals, what is it, find angle? Or angle difference, I think. There we go, angle difference. That, and I want to make this absolute, or have it be an absolute value. So should I do instance angle difference? So point angle, no, point direction, x plus 16, y. I can just steal all this, honestly, can't I? It's the exact same thing. There we go. Okay. So this would be player aim direction and var instance angle no, just var instance angle. Okay. So now we have that. That's all fine and dandy. Okay. So now we are going to add together distance and angle to the power of 2. So that would be weight equals var instance angle. No, var, we're going to do distance first. Instance distance plus var instance angle difference 2. Okay. Now that we've done that, we're going to do if var temp weight is less than now if n equals 0 or var temp weight is less than var final weight, then var final weight equals var temp weight. Oh, and we need var final ID equals var instance ID. Okay, we got that. So, after this, we need that targeting equals true, targeting ID equals var final ID, and then yeah, we should be good. We just gotta do this. If targeting equals false, and then else false, and targeting ID equals no one. I think that's what we want. So I think this is good. I guess the only thing we can do is test it, right? Let's see. It runs, but does it lock on? Okay, it locked onto the obvious one. Oh, locked onto that one, despite the fact that that one was much closer. What about now? It's locking onto that one. Still locking onto that one. What about when I'm looking this way, locking onto that one? Cool. So it seems like it's working. It seems to always be locking onto the obvious choice. Which one will it lock onto now? I think it'll lock onto the one on the left of those two on each of these two. Our left, that is. Yep. And now, yep. Okay. What about now? I assume it'll lock onto the one on the right, but I could be wrong. Okay. Oh. Well, it seems much less finicky, at least. But if I'm looking at this one, is it so obvious that I want to target it? I think I should decrease the weight of differing angles here. So that means it wouldn't have an exponent of 2, but like maybe 1.5. Yeah, let's give that a go. Okay. Well, not 1.5, but let's go with 1.7 for now, see how this works. Okay. First off, does it work? It still works. Good. Okay. So which one am I going to target? I would like to target that guy over there. Am I going to target the guy closer? I'm going to target the guy closer. Oh, really? Even though that angle is so strong. Or isn't strong enough. Okay. Was to the power of the 2 better, though? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to bring it back to squaring it for now, because it seems like it's still just like this whole chunk of code is just better than what any of these past ones in general. That being said, let's remove them since we don't need them. That is our targeting code. It seems to work exactly as it needs to. So, that being said though, there is one problem that we could come to. What happens if an enemy dies? Well, right now it does nothing. But let's make that real simple. Let's just make them vanish when they die. They do have their own health system, but I don't think that's necessary. If HP is less than or equal to 0, then instance destroy. Obviously, it's not going to be that simple in the future because they need to have a death animation. They need to, maybe drop some goods or a health pack or whatever the heck. So we'll figure that out when the time comes. So for now, let's see what happens. My guess, we're going to get an error and the game will stop functioning once they die. Okay. Alright, what will happen? Yep. Okay. So let's copy this and take a better look at it. So, line 14, OBJ test figure draw event. Really? Because it doesn't know what to draw. Okay. So, in this case, let's do something here, because this will make things a little bit easier. Actually, destroy control. Let's see. If obj test figure dot targeting equals true and target ID equals ID, then with obj test figure targeting equals false and target ID equals no one. Oh, all right. I might have just done, oh, get out of here. What was that anyway? Oh, that was that. Well, whatever. Okay. So target ID not set. All right, so real quick, what was the actual thing? It was just targeting ID. Really? Okay, fair enough. So not target ID. That's easy enough to fix. All right. Let's give this a go. Oh, we got another problem. Targeting ID still not set before reading. Really? Oh, I know what I did wrong. At least now I do. Always remember to do this. Now it's actually reading the correct one. Okay. And down it goes. Doing exactly as it's supposed to. I bet you guys can hear the clicking of my right trigger. Goodbye. Cool. So, that all seems pretty correct. Awesome. So, there is one thing I'm thinking about doing with this game. I'm thinking about having the size of the sprites and tiles and everything like that be 16 by 16, simply to not weigh me down so much when it comes to producing any of the art. I'm not a very good artist. when I'm actually trying, I can do something functional. But I would prefer to simply not have it be something so time consuming for me, you know what I mean? I'm gonna bring up an example from that I'm actually kind of thinking of basing it off of, and I've already shown you this before. This good old tile sheet. Even though I don't think I'd even be this good, just by looking at it we can tell that it's simple enough. It gets the job done. There's not too much noise where necessary. Even right here it's just like white and green, and here it's only 2 colors, here it's only like 3, 4 colors. I like that. Although, this is of course a recoloring of a black and white game for the Game Boy. And the Link's Awakening DX is the color one. They also removed a fun bug from the original game, where if you opened up the map using the select button, right as you were passing from one zone into the next, it would cause this, well, it would cause a bug where you teleport to the other side of the screen, and you could use this to pretty much beat the game within a few minutes. But it also caused all sorts of weird other stuff to happen that I have no idea why. Like, if I recall correctly, there ended up being this enemy who was an old lady who would try to stab you or something, and she only appeared from this bug. Only from the bug. So she must have been like an enemy that took the wrong sprite ID or something along those lines, and then, you know, it just lined up perfectly where it looked like she was trying to kill you with a sword. It was amazing. Scratching my ear there. So, anyhow, that's sort of the visual style that I'd like to go for this game. Something simple and, well, simple. So, let's get started on doing everything that we need to do to achieve that goal. First off, once again, I'm not an artist, but I will make this guy a bit better to look at. Oh. Let's make this 8x8. There we go. Let's raise this up a bit. Jeez, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's all he's got to be for now. We're going to make it an automatic box. Let's try moving him around a little bit real quick. It might bug out, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, as you can see, the aiming thing is quite off, but he's hitting the walls just as he should, which is what we want. So, let's have him create his own center. So, let's do center X, center Y. And this will be mean, B box left, B box right, mean, B box top, B box bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to search through all of the code to find instances of x plus 16 and y plus 16. Okay, we're going to do center X, center Y, center X, center Y, center, oh, come on, center X, center Y, oh, hello, center X, center Y, oh, not center 7, center Y. Is the other one in here? Not seeing it. Oh, draw X. Nope, that's fine. I'm gonna search for Y plus 16 just to be safe, even though it probably won't turn up. And it does not turn up. Okay, cool. So, let's see how this looks. Oh, look at that. Well, that's not right at all. That's really not right. Okay, so I know exactly what I did wrong. I did this here, which is not what we want. I will leave it in the create, but I'm going to put it at the beginning of the steps. Actually, you know what? Should really be at the beginning, so let's put that in here. Finding the center of the player. Alright. That was my elbow popping just now. Oh, it kind of gets pushed a bit. That's odd. I wonder why that is. Huh. I would like to figure out why that is, though. So, this is being set right at the beginning. Oh, I know why. Because it's being set right at the beginning. So, you know what we could do? instead of making it something that happens like that, we could make this our own function. So, up until now, I have never used the script system for this project, that is. So let me show you exactly how this works. So the script system is essentially GameMaker's own way of letting you build your own functions, or simply organizing code in some way that you want. So we're going to make this ser find player center, or ser center x, or yeah, ser player center. So we don't want that. Instead, we want and var center y. Okay. So we are going to we could make this into two separate scripts or functions. One that gives the x coordinate, one that gives the y coordinate, or we could make them the same one and instead have it have an argument where, say, 0 being for the argument is 1, or you know what? Let's do this. If argument 0 is, or if is string argument 0, then we're going to continue from here. Okay. If argument 0 equals y, or argument 0 equals y, as in for lowercase or uppercase, it's not going to need to matter, then var center equals that. If argument 0 equals x, or argument 0 equals x, then center equals that. And then after this, if var center here, actually, let's start by doing this. Var center equals negative 100. Okay, if var center, because x and y will never be over there, or the center will never be over there, because the player is never going to leave the screen, right? If var center equals, well, there we go. If is string argument, or var center equals false, meaning it will not be error, and instead this will have happened, it'll have been changed, then that means return, at least I think, yeah, return var center. So what return does is it essentially closes out the script, returning whatever thing that you need. So just like in most functions, it can return, a real or a Boolean. So this is going to be returning either the x coordinate or the y coordinate, depending upon what the input is going to be. Alright, so this should work. I'm not 100% certain it will, but I guess we're about to find out. So yeah. So let's search for var center x. Oh, no, okay. What did I do? No, it's just going to be center x? Yeah, no, it's just going to be center x. Isn't it? There we go. We don't need you anymore. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. So here, let's just do this. Center x. Replace it with this. Replace all. Okay. Center y. Replace it. Oh, with this. Replace all. Okay. Only one place it appears. All right. Perfect. Let's see how this works. Seems like it's doing exactly what it's supposed to. Okay, well, this guy moves quite fast, doesn't he? Alright. So, on that note, let's try to make these guys a little bit more appealing looking. Let's make it 16. We're gonna do this. Make them look like weird pumpkin heads, hopefully. And that's all they're gonna be. Modify mask, automatic, rectangle, perfect. We're gonna make you smaller. Resize canvas, 16. That's all you gotta be. Same with you, buddy. Okay, so before hitting play to see the results of this, I'm going to check the room real quick. Yep, that's pretty much what I expected. So, I'm going to remove everything in here. Absolutely everything. Actually, here's an easier way to do that. Shift all instances horizontal by 2000. Oh, they're all gone. I'm going to hit yes. Yes, remove them all from the room. Everything's gone from the room. Perfect. So we're 16 by 16. Doesn't need to be nearly that big. Let's only make the room 20 by 20 tiles. So 20 times 16 equals 320. Oh, come on. Okay. I don't know why it always does that. Game Maker's a pain in the butt sometimes. It'll just randomly make something stretched slightly larger, especially if it's your second or third time stretching it. We'll put a few small obstacles in the room. We'll put our player. We'll put a couple of dummies. And then a little bit of mud here or there, so it actually has a purpose. What is 1? What is yours? 0. Perfect. Okay. Now finally, views are fun to use. Not really. They're kind of annoying actually. But let's actually do this. So view in room is simply how much of the room is being shown. Port on screen is quite literally the size of the screen. So let's double this for now so that you can actually see what's going on without getting super close to your screen, at least by a bit. That's what we have right now. All right. This guy moves much too fast now that he's smaller. Oh, wrong one. Luckily, we have most of that information in the create event. So player speed, let's have it since we have it as size. Bring it down to 5. Player speed modifier is 1. Move direction 0. Aim direction. Yes, this is all correct. Dodge speed, let's have that as well. All right. We have progress. A twin stick shooter with lock-on mechanics is what we have so far. But as I've stated before, I don't want to make a twin stick shooter. What I want to make is an action game. Well, a melee action game, a melee focused action game. So why do I have arrows? Well, because they still exist, don't they? Now we can't quite press up against the walls the same way we used to, but as I've explained before, this is closer to how it was in older games. That was because of hardware limitations for the time, which I don't have to deal with here. I'm making this in Game Maker Studio on my, high-powered PC that can play the latest video games in glorious high definition with crisp 60 frames per second, most of the time, at least. Instead, I would just call this a stylistic choice, and a choice that at least makes it easier for me, because I am only one person, and as one person, I don't want to make this too hard on myself. That, and if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of don't know what I'm doing half the time anyway. Okay, how long have I been streaming for? Let me check real quick. 50 minutes. In that case, I'm going to call this one good. Looks like no one's watching at the moment. Regardless, I thank you for viewing this after I streamed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.